All right, let's get some content going. Oh yeah, random pop-ups, baby. Random pop-ups. I love it. I love it. I love what I have the opportunity to do over here. It's been working for me for the most part. Views pretty low. That's cool. I get it. I understand everyone has their platforms that they like to tune into. But we are working. Oh yeah, we are working. I love it, people. That's what I'm here for. Uh-huh. And it won't stop. Let's go to my live. Let's make sure my settings look decent, because sometimes I just be going live and be having previous settings, and we don't want to do that right now. Oh no, we don't want to do that. We want to step right in and do what we need to do in its proper format. How's everyone doing today? Let's see here. Live. Let's edit that. Live. What is this? Live. Let's see. I'll put this. Responds to Lord Jamar. I really wanted to go over this, something that I just wanted to talk about at this point. Anyway, So let's get into it. I did watch it already, and I'm kind of familiar of what's going on, So just want to give my standpoint on the content. I don't have to necessarily have anything to say per se, but I just want to react to it and go from there. Oh, we got a new sub. Etakio Apolinar. Thank you for the sub. As you can see, we have the lovely live sub count up there. For anyone who wants to help me get to the 300 mark, and then who wouldn't mind getting me to the 500 mark. So thank you for everyone that has tuned in and continues to support your boy L Boogie North on the North Production Channel. Let's go. All right, so
Jamar, just
right here we have Dante, we have Lord Jamar, we have Godfrey speaking in regards to Lord Jamar. Now, what they had spoke about was in regards to Flat Earth. I'm not fully aware of what everything that was said before, but they are going to go over some key points, which is the reason I brought this up. All right. And yeah, my little daughter's in the room, but this is just the entertainment room. So that's why we all be in here chilling or whatever. If you hear anything, don't be alarmed. All right, let's go.
From the history of hip hop and shit like that. And so he comes on the first time, the Flat Earth thing, gets a lot, big views, It was awesome.
Right.
I said, man, there's a guy that was watching you, a guy named Dave. He's a Professor Dave. He saw your shit and he was like disputing you.
I
He
have a
said,
clip here of him saying he gave an open invite to Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay,
Okay,
hold on. I think you out of order, God.
I'm out of order?
Yeah. Mike, play the clip.
I'm on.
Which clip?
The
The one
first
where
clip.
he challenges Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Which clip are you talking about?
He knows.
I think sometimes us guys get too offended nowadays when another man speaks to us in a manner that they're not used to. Let's
he
go.
knows, yeah, the one that with Neil when he
That's what he's saying. Here we go.
Yeah.
Black
All right.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
You don't respect Neil deGrasse?
No, I would debate him in a minute.
Really?
Absolutely.
Damn.
He's an actor. He has
What
a
about
SAG
Terrence
card.
Howard?
Terrence Howard is a smart dude, but he's off too.
I try to tell my guy that too, man. And when I say off, or when he says off, I don't know what he's clarifying on that. But when I say off, I mean that he's fighting for something else that we're just not fighting for, So I don't think Terrence is fighting the good fight. I think he has the information, but I don't think he's fighting the good fight.
Is a triangle. Let me explain. There's isosceles, there's equilateral, and there's scalene. It's not a circle. It's not flat. It's a triangle.
What up, you think, yo?
All of you mothers are wrong. And it's because I'm light-skinned that you don't believe me.
They don't believe the light-skinned brothers. I can agree with that. They don't believe in the light-skinned brothers, man. We get so much slack, man.
So
that was funny. Let's run that back real
said
quick.
during the thing.
There's
He said he would challenge
Episode
Neil.
Triangular.
It's a triangle. You're all wrong. All of you mothers are wrong. And it's because I'm light-skinned that you don't.
Hold on, let's go.
Absolutely.
Damn.
He's an actor. He has
What
a
about
SAG
Terrence
card.
Howard?
Terrence Howard is a smart dude, but he's off too.
The earth is a triangle. Let me explain. There's isosceles, there's equilateral, and there's scalene. It's not a circle. It's not flat. It's a triangle. You're all wrong. All of you mothers are wrong. And it's because I'm light-skinned that you don't believe me.
That shit is hilarious.
So that was
Godfrey
that's
does
what
good
he
work.
said during the thing.
He said he would challenge
episode
Neil
we was in.
deGrasse Tyson.
I would give my full opinion on how I feel about the flat Earth thing. I know Ezekiel. It's hilarious. It's hilarious the way he put. Everyone does, Terrence Howard like.
You can't treat him like any of
You
the
know
other
what I
niggas
mean?
around here because he ain't like any of the other niggas around here. You got it?
Oh, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the sub. So yeah, he's funny, man. He talks funny. So a lot of people clown the way he talks. I'm like, hey, man, man, it's how I feel, man. And I know when I'm right, I'm right. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But this time I just know I'm right. No. So yeah, shout out to where's my okay, it's back here. I'll put this up here. That way people can see it if people sub up. Yeah, he's a hilarious guy. Let's keep going.
Tyson and said that
So
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I happen to know. I met Neil, but I'm really tight with Chuck Nice. As comics, we know Chuck Nice.
He works with
does Star
Neil deGrasse
Talk
Tyson.
with
Yes.
Neil deGrasse
Yes.
Tyson. He is his co-host.
yes.
So I hit up Chuck. Chuck hit me back and he said, listen, he says, look, Neil is swamped. There's no way I could get Neil on until maybe after February. And I was like, well, all right. Well,
Which is fine. If Neil wants to come later, hell, it's Neil.
Right, exactly. But
They want Neil on.
then what happened was I saw a clip where Dave did a response video on
That's what I was talking about.
and the flat Earth. But the first thing was I want to debate Neil.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? And so
How do people feel about flat Earth though? And the globalists, of course. We have globalists and then we have flat earthers, of course. How do people truly feel about that though? Because there are things that can be proven and there's things that can't be proven, And I think a lot of the things that can't be proven kind of come from the globalist side, I'm not here to debate anyone because I'm not pretty good at that per se, because I've yet to do a debate on something like that. But a lot of the things that are being said about flat Earth, I can kind of, I agree with that. I don't look at it anymore from a standpoint of just going with what was told to me in school, basically. All right.
I was absolutely, and I said this to you, God, that I'm a little funny about letting Professor Dave debate him on your platform because I was worried about the optics of a white dude.
But we
coming in
tried to use a black man first.
Right.
And my thing is this.
absolutely
And
did.
my thing is this: whatever the race is, somebody don't agree with you, and so
Right.
let's see. It's science. let's see what happens. You
Right.
know,
But I said to you several times that
Yes.
I didn't like the optics of it.
Oh, right.
No
Of
one
course
agrees
not. Right.
anymore.
We got to
Right.
get a black person,
Right.
and we tried, and they weren't available.
And we wasn't available. But I made that step, and I only made that jump because he said I'll debate Neil deGrasse Tyson. So I'm always looking, for ways to build, to make better content. So okay, let's do it, right? I did not know that it was gonna be a trash-in the way it was a trash-in, because I just assumed if you're that boisterous about your philosophy about flat Earth, right, that you would know the talking points of at least.
Yeah, that's
And the crazy part is, what's the other guy's name? He went and did a debate with, and they said he did it with a Christian. And his whole thing was that he was like inebriated, or he wasn't in his right mind to debate. And so like that's a talking point for a lot of guys who are losing debates. People are saying that they're not in their right mind. And you'll hear it further in this clip where they're going to bring that particular part up about debating another man. It's like if you lost the debate, you lost it. Are the facts being proven or not? But if you lost a debate, you lost a debate, dude. Plain and simple. If some people feel like you lost a debate, all right, doesn't mean you technically lost it.
That's what I thought that he would have. Okay, this is going to be a good, and I was going to like, me and you were going to we're going to shut the fuck up and let them go back and forth, and it's going to be a nice
That's a
volley.
dope ass t-shirt.
And then I just thought when we first started it, do we have any of that footage where he goes fuck Professor Dave?
And these guys
Do
were
we have that? I
friends
thought we were
too.
gonna show
So
that
it's a real falling out.
Okay, well,
But
we don't.
I have a question, though. I have a question. Sorry, Dante. Professor Dave, his response video before you guys had him on, was his response video like cordial? Was it just simply disputing what Lord Jamar was saying?
Yeah, he goes because he battles flat earthers all the time. They come at him, and he'll go against 5, 6, 7 of them coming at him. They'll curse him out. They go what the fuck you da da da. He'll be like, no, you guys don't understand science. You don't know what the fuck you do. So they go at it.
Okay.
So he came at it as here's another person that thinks he did. I don't think was he fucked up with it. I don't think so.
Well, okay, let me say this. Lord Jamal had not seen the response video.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So
but
either
yes,
way,
to be honest, Zainab, he was like, this is the dumbest shit ever, blah, 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 blah.
Which is fine, I think.
Blasting him, right?
but it doesn't matter because Lord Jamar never even saw that.
He never even saw it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So when they came on, we brought him on. He said something about you have to have. I'll debate. So I asked Godfrey because, Lord Jamal, I've spoke to him a couple of times on the phone, but it's Godfrey's friend. So I was making the connection with Dave, and Godfrey was making the with Lord Jamal.
Yeah.
And so whatever was said, Godfrey would have to tell you. So
Thank
go
you,
ahead, God.
Ezekiel, for pulling up.
Oh, when
Appreciate
we
the
asked
sub.
him,
Yeah, when you asked.
See you soon.
I said, yo, why don't you go against this guy named Dave, blah, blah, blah. He goes,
So this moment was destined to happen, and it just happened to happen on Godfrey and Dante's channel. Of course, Godfrey's the headliner always on his channel. But Lord Jamar is a friend of Godfrey's, from my understanding. And so the conversation that Lord Jamar was willing to have was already destined to happen, whether it had been at that moment or had it been down the line, because these two guys are well aware of each other, from my understanding. All right.
okay. He said, let me think about it. He said, you know what? I'm going to come through. You know what I mean? And on his own, I didn't force him. I said, I think it would be a really good fucking episode that you guys go at it. People love debates.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a reason why they watch presidential debates. They watch debates like Candace Owens. The reason why her crazy ass because she debates people, which I give her credit for because she will go against whoever the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't give her credit for nothing.
well,
She's a liar.
I'm just
But
saying that's not the
my
point.
opinion.
I'm just saying
Candace Owens
she
is a
doesn't
shit.
she doesn't run from a debate is what I'm saying.
No,
That's all I'm
but
saying.
she's a liar.
Yeah,
and she's a piece
I
of
just
shit.
said shit, crazy ass dude.
Okay, I want to before you say I don't want anybody to make the mistake that I think Candace Owens is cool on any
I
level.
didn't say she was cool. I said she.
So people are now saying that she's an operative and that she's being paid to, I guess, sway people, allegedly. You know, I heard it. I don't know that to be true. I watched some of her content, though. I really like the content she did about Michael Jackson, alongside some other content that she did. Her speaking points don't always go over my head. Like, I like the way that she speaks about things.
Doesn't run from a debate. You just want to put your opinion in about her.
Mm.
That's okay.
But one of the biggest debates
Shout out Candace Owens.
right now is Earth. I don't know why, but is Earth flat or round?
I know it's
a big conversation.
And so,
it's a big deal.
because the flat earthers are there's something some voice, but flat earthers are really like hardcore.
See,
about
that's
it. It's
unfair,
like
though.
MAGA shit.
Yeah, but you know
But
what?
see, that's unfair, though. That's the part that's unfair about all of this. It's that people will say that the flat earthers are aggressive in their talking points, but the globalists kind of rock the show. You know what I mean? Like, why is my mic so loose? Got a loose mic. Like, the globalists are already winning with their talking points. They've won the people over. You just seen a guy come out in public on a public platform, and he denounced flat earth, and he had been such a pivotal, guy in that realm of flat earth, from my understanding. And I got that information from Bro Sanchez TV. So shout out to Bro Sanchez TV. But that information came out, I think his name was Jaron or something like that. And it was a big deal for him to denounce flat earth. So now you got the globalists having flat earthers denounce flat earth. So I can't really agree with that one there, Godfrey.
MAGA shit.
I feel the same way with like religion. Like
said
when
MAGA
people are
stuff.
like atheists or it's like they
That same
think
thing.
that they are not believing in anything, but I'm like, you don't believe in it stronger than people believe, and you're
Right.
trying to get us to not believe.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
And my thing is, it's
I
because
disagree.
Dante doesn't believe in God, but I don't go, oh, why not God? Hey, believe whatever you want. If that's it. First of all, the concept of God, we all said there's God. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. People who are atheists once believed in it. Yeah. So what about the people that just are neither? Yeah. And just act properly or whatever? Yeah. I was taught there was a God, blah, blah, blah. My parent, I got God in my name. Yeah.
Look, Zaynab, this is probably the first time Zaynab's ever hearing that I'm an atheist, because I've never put it on her. I've never pushed myself on it, because
that's okay to be who you are.
Right.
That's all right. Because guess what?
Oh, you doing that Muslim shit?
Because my thing is this: either way, we're all human beings. We all sleep. Like I said, we're all right here. Unless
we're all very similar.
Powers, we're all here trying to figure ourselves out, regardless of what it is.
All right.
So, I was saying. So now, he said he goes when we bring Dave.
It's going
on,
to get kooky.
Dave's like, hell yeah, I want to do this. I'm like, this is going to be great. Soon as he gets on, I'm thinking it's going to be good. He goes, fuck, Professor Dave. Do we have that? We're going to show this.
He's going to run it.
And watch.
He's running this campaign on his
man. I was
man's.
like, it kind of threw me off. All right, here we go.
This is...
Dave, here's my thing. Man, let me
Fuck Professor Dave.
Go ahead.
Before he
But
even
you
get
did
here.
laugh, Godfrey.
You know why? When it comes to hip hop, right?
Yeah, it was like, fuck. I just thought, I was just a little bit like that. I laughed. I was like, okay, I thought he was just going to say fuck it and keep it going. But he was really like, I don't fuck that dude. I want to talk. And then what did he call him? Did he call him the F word?
Call him,
Said the
F word, homo, all.
Yeah,
man.
it was just weird. It was just a
At
little.
one point, I think he said he went down on his own father.
Which is also kind of ill, because
At one point, he said he went down on his own dad.
Okay. Yeah, that was weird. Go ahead.
and I was like, this is a platform Like for you to come on and go down that road, it's to in my opinion, is disrespectful to the platform because Dave came on as a guest, Jamar came on as a guest. Why would you not expect a blatant, just a basic respect for each other on the platform? Period.
Right. And I'm like, so my podcast don't mean shit to you because
I think that's why Godfrey is a bit upset about this. Is the fact that these guys were tight. They had already had some type of friendship or whatever. And for him to step on his platform, and I've seen it many a times when it comes to YouTube where, some people come up and they act as a friend, but then, they're completely outraged and, they're kind of going outside of your friend's guidelines when it comes to doing content. You know what I mean? So maybe Godfrey was attempting to protect his platform on top of the fact that, he wasn't aware of the situation that or the emotions that Jamar had behind. That's what it sounded like anyway. But then Godfrey's like, yo, bro, don't do that here, basically. If we're going to do this, let's do it on your platform. That's basically what he's saying.
Podcast. I've never disrespected his podcast. I always was respectful to his podcast. And, and then when, when they were going back and forth, Dave didn't stand down. He was like, no, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. And I was like, okay, this is going to be good. And it got a little viral. It got a little viral and shit. And then he was like, yo, take this dude off. After that happened, he was like, yo, yeah, man, don't show that shit. Don't show the episode.
Damn.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Because that fucks with my shit. That fucks my money up. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't show it because we cut it off right away, too. Like, I say, oh, this is going to be
that pissed him off, too. Like, man, I can't even put out this good-ass content because we friends and you messed up and I didn't even want you to go that far? Come on, brother. Now, you know better than that. I got to put this out. And it might not be what you want it to be, but, brother, I got to put this out. It's my platform. You know what I mean? So
cool. Yeah. It happens. And I said I won't show it. Yeah. As a friend, I won't do it. I did not show it. Yeah. And that cuts into my shit. Yeah. And then everybody's like, yo.
Godfrey didn't have an episode to put up. And then the other episode, because Dave recorded on his side, Dave got 500,000 views on his side for putting up the clip of it because he had recorded it on his end.
Yeah,
like
and
Dave
so
got a pretty large audience talking about flat Earth. And
I didn't know he was recording. I had no idea. I didn't even think about it.
No, we didn't know. But the part of the deal of him coming on was that he could have the footage.
Right.
This dude has 4 million followers, so he wasn't charging us anything to come on.
Right.
He was coming on, and all he asked for is just so long as I can get the footage.
Yeah. So and then I didn't do it. And everybody's asking me, why didn't you put up the flat earth shit? Yo, man, why didn't you put up? Nah. And even on videos, like my regular content, people are like, yo, fuck all that. Where's that footage?
We want to see the flat earth content. Facts.
Yo, Godfrey, this was funny, but yo, what's up with that? You ain't slick. You just gonna put up shit and act like you missed an episode? Motherfuckers was mad as shit.
It was like, fuck your Steve Harvey.
Yo, man, that's a good impersonation, but impersonate that episode, motherfucker. They were coming at me, still to this day, they go, why'd you let this motherfucker punk you into not? I said, it wasn't about that. It was about being a friend. That's what I wanted to do. Because I'm that kind of guy. I'm not a fuck boy. I'm not.
Being a friend.
I'm not. No one can say that about me. Nobody.
That's the one thing I can say. Like being, sometimes having a friend it can either make or break a situation, man. It's always a moment like that that'll make or break a friendship. You know what I mean? At that moment, Godfrey's getting checked by other people. He didn't make his money. His friend calling him all types of names and stuff, man. He's in a tidbit at that moment.
You can not like me because whatever, that's fine. But as far as backstabbing people I know, as far as being like a gossip, I'm not that. I don't do that type of shit.
All right.
I like to confront. Like if there's a problem we have, let's talk about it. That's just me. I don't owe anybody any fucking money. I don't owe anybody shit. Nothing. I got plenty of comedians that do not like me, and I've done nothing to them. And they've shown how they don't like for no reason. I know comics that have hated on me for years. People will say, well, why didn't you? Blah, blah, blah. I go, well, there's comics that block that. I'm being honest. I'm not even, because I've seen it.
Check this out.
What's up?
Afterwards, I call Godfrey. I'm calling Godfrey the next day. I'm calling Godfrey. Godfrey's not picking up the phone, which is weird. And and then he says, I'm on the phone with Lord Jamar.
Yeah.
And I text him, I said, I know he's pissed at me. Right?
Yes.
And Godfrey goes, his text back to me is yup. And I go, well, what's up? And then Godfrey says to me,
dude,
that
say it.
Lord Jamar said that I drugged him.
Yeah, he drugged him. He said, I think your boy drugged me. I go, what? First of all, I'm not a weed smoker, so I'm like.
So this is the part where I'm like, okay, we heard this recently with I'm finna pull his name up. I'm sorry, y'all. Lost debate. Is it Carson? Is it Bill Carson? Billy Carson loses career-ending debate to Christian. All right, so it was Billy Carson. All right. So from my understanding, though, Billy Carson said the same thing in regards to Christianity. You know, they say that he lost the debate, career-ending debate, someone said. And that was by What Do You Mean? But he said that he wasn't, feeling it that day. He wasn't feeling it. And from my understanding, a lot of these guys run in the same, circles or whatever. So that was kind of weird that Lord Jamar said the same thing. It's like, dude, if you're going to end your debating standpoint when it comes to flat earth, don't try to say to somebody drug. That's just low. You know what I mean? Especially if that was said on a public platform. Like, of course, that's means of you got to take action, I guess, because that can lead to other things. This guy could never get work in certain areas because people say stuff like that. And I think people got to watch how they say it. But, of course, he said it on a text message. But Godfrey's bringing it to the internet. He's calling Lord Jamar all the way out on it.
I don't get it. He goes, I was out of sorts on that episode. So I go, but you smoke all day, every day. He's always rolling joints on there.
We rolled 3 blunts.
The whole place was smoked up, And he goes, your boy tried to I don't know. He put something in the thing. I go, why would he do that? Like, he did it because he's like, yo, that's my man. I'm gonna get him some weed, blah 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 blah. And he threw that in. I go, Dante wouldn't do no shit like that. Why the fuck would he do that? Why the fuck would he spike himself and give you the same shit? Like, he don't do shit like that. We're not those kind of guys. I don't give a fuck who he talks to. We don't do that kind of shit, So I was like, damn, what? And then he goes, yo.
That's messed up.
If I have to take legal action.
Wait, you going up too far.
What happened? What?
So first, then he was like,
you're a pimp. I'm sorry. He said you're
an ex-pimp.
Ex-pimp, yeah.
Such and such. And so you know how he manipulates people and blah, 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 blah.
He tried to slander this man's character completely. Is it because he doesn't like him or because he truly feels like that? But they're going to play a few pieces of Lord Jamar's, content, but Lord, I've heard things about Lord Jamar as well, but this is crazy.
Now, I've never been lied or misrepresented myself. Pimping is not something that I'm proud of.
Right.
It's not something that I put in the front of. In fact, the reason why I'm not because it was something that I didn't have ethically. I didn't have the stomach for it. Right. So I'm not. It's not something I brag about. But when you keep saying that, it's a way. In my mind, it's shots fired because it's a way of disparaging me. Oh, this nigga he's a pimp. He takes advantage of blah, 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 blah. And he kept saying that, right? Yeah. So, Mike, you got the video for that?
Which one?
Dante on
they
10
said the
too.
pimp when he called. He said he's a pimp, so he tried to. There's a video. The video what he did with the flat earthers.
Yeah. I got
here it is. Okay, let's see it.
Cool. I let this sucker bitch pull me into some shit. There's a guy on the show that used to be an ex-pimp, and since he couldn't best me the last time, he did what a pimp does, and he got a bitch to do his dirty work. And that's what happened.
Nah, he didn't take ownership at all, though. He didn't take ownership at all for his arguments. And once again, I kind of sway towards flat earth. You know what I mean? But you can't do that in the midst. This guy, I assume Dante sound like a flat earther too. You know what I mean? But it's like, dude, how you gonna slander this man like that because you lost a debate after you baited the debate? What? Come on, man.
Yeah. So he's calling us names and shit like that. It was your behavior, man. You did that. I didn't make you call this dude an F word. I didn't make you say fuck Dave. I didn't make any. I just said you showing up, cool. I even gave you money for the toll. Congestion fucking tax data. I said I didn't. This is your behavior. And now you blaming me for that shit? That's just fucking, that's bullshit.
That's crazy.
Now,
That makes
back up, Godfrey, back up 2 points. So I'm not afraid of nobody, and I didn't do nothing wrong. So I text Jamar. I was like, yo, there's no way I would ever drug you. That's crazy. And he was like, oh, Godfrey said drugged. I didn't say drugged. I was like, well, I just want you to know I would never drug you. I go, and the only reason why we set this up in the first place was because you said you wanted to debate out of his own mouth. You saw the video. You said you wanted to
debate Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Debate Neil deGrasse
Tyson.
Right. I couldn't get Neil.
Yeah.
So I got the next best thing.
Neil would have cooked him too, it sounds like.
I had no idea that he wasn't inept to with his own points or to deal with this dude or any of that. It was just me putting it together because he asked.
Yeah. That's and so, yeah, man. And he said, I'm going to take some legal action.
Let's get them subs up, y'all.
And then he goes, I didn't sign anything.
Sub up to the channel, man. It look like we got 3 or 5 people watching, man. I appreciate it if y'all sub up to the channel. We trying to get to 500 subs so that we can do the memberships and everything like that. If you want to support that, if you like the content, this is not my everyday content. It's just me doing a reaction video right now to something that happened within the YouTube sectors. I'm just talking at this point. But if you don't mind, sub up to the channel.
It's like that. You've been on my podcast before. Now you're doing this legal shit. Whatever, it's clever. You can't do that. Like now you're gonna do a lawsuit on me. Like what? Yeah. You called him F words and all kind of other shit. So and it's almost like you're trying to make up a beef. I guess maybe that's a rap thing.
He tried to Drake you.
Yeah, he's trying to Drake me. Like I'm like, huh? It's like you're bad. Your enemy is the guy Dave, not me.
Facts.
And then you're calling a sucker bitch and all this other shit. I'm like, maybe you're that kind of guy. Maybe you're that kind of whack ass dude. Maybe that's what you are. Because I didn't call you any names. I said, let me just you fucked my money up. Yeah. And then you're saying, oh, they're just doing this for views. What individual on social media is not doing shit for fucking views? What motherfucker? If you ain't doing shit for views, you should not be on social media. Everybody wants views. That's why everybody and their mama is twerking on whatever. They're doing sketches with their kids so they can be fucking influencers. You have to have views. That is how these fucking things work. Views work. That's how you get money. Okay? That's how everybody's doing this shit for views, and you fucking right. I'm doing this for views.
Man?
He's implying you sold him out for views.
I sold him out for views.
I don't think. From my understanding, Godfrey is a globalist too. So maybe that's also what Lord Jamar is trying to say. I'm not completely sure, but I think Lord Jamar handled it incorrectly. You know what I mean? Other than that, yeah, that was pretty ugly. I seen this shaking my damn head. I like Godfrey, Lord Jamar Dynamic, Lord J Dynamics. How do you feel about it? Clarify for me, brother. Do you agree with what Godfrey said about Lord Jamar? Which I think a lot of us would agree, especially if it's your platform. You want your friend to kind of just lose the debate with honor. You know what I mean? But Lord Jamar showed that he just couldn't do that. So that's not just hip hop taking a hit. I'll just say Lord Jamar. That's not just Lord Jamar taking a hit. That's also tarnishing kind of, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta agree with Godfrey. I do agree with Godfrey. I don't think Godfrey is a flat earther, but I think that he has a point when it comes to how Lord Jamar handled it. Is to say, you know, I think that should be highlighted. Is that Lord Jamar, he could have still did his content without slandering and without taking accountability. He could have taken accountability for his actions. You know, to say that someone drugged you and you were inebriated out of your mind or whatever, and you couldn't do what you needed to do to win a damn debate. A lot of guys are doing that, I see. So they're like, I couldn't perform. It's like, no, you didn't have all the right talking points, of course. But on top of that, just take the L, bro. Doesn't mean you lose the battle, but it's about the war, bro. It's not about the battle. You know what I'm saying? I liked how Godfrey and Lord Jamar G-checked that Zaddy with using his platform to run plays. But they called him out. They called him out, Cutting Edge. They called out Neil deGrasse Tyson. He wasn't available. And then Professor Dave got involved. Santino, what it do, man? Yeah, appreciate you, Santino, pulling up, man. Showing love, man. I appreciate that. Sure did. Now look. That of course, yeah. Now those two, of course, are battling and fighting. So you saying it, I agree with that 100%, right? So like, yeah, they are causing. It did cause a ruckus, but I think Godfrey already was siding. You know, my daughter. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Yeah, we in the entertainment room. But yeah, you know, I think that those two guys had a difference of opinion. Godfrey's already a globalist from my understanding. I might be incorrect in my step. If I am, I'll apologize, you know, and do, you know, before saying this. But I believe he is a globalist and Lord Jamar is the flat earther from other communities that I attend. Now, with that being said, Godfrey was never going to side with Lord Jamar in the content, in the conversation about globalism and flat eartherism. You know, my G, how I learned about Brand Nubian, etc., was through me watching Godfrey channel, and I looked in the Raw and Lord J and realized how dope lyricists they are. So I'll have to look into their music. I'm familiar with Raw Digger, but I'm not really familiar with Lord Jamar and Brand Nubian. I might be, and I just don't know it. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I think that yeah, maybe it could have went a different way, is what I'm saying with Lord when it came to Lord Jamar. But maybe Lord Jamar felt completely betrayed, you know, because of who they brought to the platform. So yeah, at this point, it's like, oh, you brought a white guy, you know, quote unquote, you know, and then y'all are siding with him, you know what I mean? I don't know what that, like I said, I'll have to play Lord Jamar's part at this point as well too, and then probably research the content that Godfrey ran or that he didn't want to put up, just so that I can have the full notes on him. So maybe we can go to Professor Dave part 2. I don't know how these guys, you know. But for the most part, I think, I mean, so yeah, here it go. But let's finish a little bit more of this. That's what I did. Because I kind of got to this part and then I stopped.
My views came because he's been on my show. Stop.
It looks
I've earned my shit on my own.
He's creating this beef to get the views.
Probably, yeah, that helps him get views.
Yeah.
Because if he didn't, he'd be like, oh, let me not say anything.
Just another guess.
Because controversy brings people to watch. You know, so I'm like, to get views, yeah. What else would I do this for? I'm doing this for views. You fucking right. Views are currency.
Yeah.
Views are currency. That's important to have views. Oh, man.
Ad revenue,
and this is
all
not
that.
some beef I'm having with him. I just think you calling us names and calling me out, I'm like, I did you
He
a
called
favor.
you out,
I
bro.
tried. And then you doing that, and so you backstabbing me? What the fuck kind of friend is that?
Hey, Mike, go to minute 4.
You know, and then he goes, oh, we going to take care of that. Like, take care of what? You know, what did you think? What did you get from that, Dante, when he said we're going to take care of that?
Sound like a threat.
Like,
So, you know, the thing is, he said, I don't like the optics because they really had great synergy. Shake my hand, like, most things, it's only temporary. I get that. You know, but then on top of that, it's like, we have to also take into consideration that there is a narrative being drawn up, and there are sides, and when it comes to what's being said and who's saying it, you know what I mean? So whether that be Godfrey that's playing that side with the Zaddies, or that's or is that Lord Jamar who's fighting against that at this point, or do they work together and they're just having a bout in front of our eyes? You know what I mean? So a lot of speculation leads to they could have had, like, from my understanding, there's a guy who talks about flat earth all the time, right? And he's like, why won't they bring somebody up there that can really talk flat earth? Lord Jamar couldn't get it done, okay? With him not being able to get it done, it looks like flat earth is still a myth, opposed to someone that's coming up there and talking about it from a standpoint of, hey, this what it is, and you should see it from this standpoint. You know what I mean? Lord J wouldn't rock with Zaddies, in my opinion. I can see Godfrey being that. Where you at? Being that way. But it's he might not rock with the whites, but it's being said that he's a part of that organization. I don't know how true that to be, so I'm gonna say allegedly. All right.
oh, we're going to take care of that. Like, what do you mean? Over flat earth. This is what we're doing. But that's that hip-hop petty shit, I think. Comics we don't operate like that. You might get mad at a motherfucker here and there, but we don't really operate like that. But rappers will be like, I'm coming to get you. You said that thing about me in that one track. The fuck? This shit is wild. Go ahead.
But I definitely was not myself that night. And I thought certain people were my friend, you know? And you don't want to believe.
See, look at Lord Jamar. Look how he's talking. You see what I'm saying? He's coming from a point of, he's up there willing to lie to save his face, Cutting Edge. Think about that. He said that he was induced or high, or, you know, somebody drugged him just because he lost a debate. Just because he lost a debate? Or is it because it saves face for him? Because he know he can't go into talk and debate with people no longer. Appreciate that too, Cutting Edge, for putting that up there. He can't go up there and talk about certain things because, you know, what if he had to lose? What if once he seen Professor Dave, he knew he was going to lose? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's a play. It's a play. It's a play. Oh, man.
That your friends would do certain things, but yeah, it's definitely possible. But yeah, I was just not in my right state of mind. I apologize for allowing y'all to see me lose my cool. Yeah, that's what happened.
You too old for that shit, brother. He believes his own stuff, but then on top of that, it's like, bro, you too old for that shit. Control yourself, brother.
Own shit. So I just wanted to get that out and talk about that.
He just seems, I don't know him at all, and I
she said,
like I
know this
understand the situation, and from what I saw, it seems like he's embarrassed.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
That's what it looks
seems
like.
He's embarrassed, and it doesn't seem like he buys his own shit. I think it's a performance.
Ah.
Oh yeah. I think it's a performance. Like he can be very direct with the words he wants to say, and then other times he's choosing to use like coded language, and maybe he's not talking directly.
Right.
I think that he knows exactly what he's doing, and part of it is the clicks of it all, and the attention.
Right.
But I think that it is embarrassing if for a very long time you've been able to hold a position as like all knowing and respectable, and I say something and people believe it, and I have enough of the performance and seemingly knowledge. Because I'll be very honest with you, Godfrey. I watched even Terrence Howard. I watched his interview with Joe Rogan. That's a very long interview to watch. Yeah. And when you watch things like that, it's so difficult because they'll say one thing and you like, I didn't think about it like that. And then they say another thing and you like, now they out they goddamn mind. And then they say another thing and it's like, dang, well, maybe.
You realize his solo album recently too. He released a solo album recently. Is that what you're saying? Thank you for the sub up. I think that there's a little more in depth to it, cutting edge. And I think that we just gotta watch some of the stuff, man. Because we're black, we're supposed to be cool. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to all side with the same stuff. But a lot of other cultures and ethnicities, they don't kind of rock like that. They don't do that. They go with what they know, or they go with what's right, or whether they choose to be wrong. And a lot of times I think we get so persuaded because a guy say he's an artist, or because he came from New York, or, he rock with certain people, he talk a certain way, and he conduct himself in a certain manner to where he's supposed to just be, you know what I'm saying? But I like to always think outside of that. If I can take a moment to just think outside of that, you know what I'm saying? Just like Brand Nubian Clay, don't let it get to your head, though. I only subscribe to say that y'all always beef with one another when they become successful. If you look behind the walls, though, you might realize that they might be getting paid to do that. You might not even know what you're talking about. Cutting edge, get their ass up out of here. Snipe them up out of here, cutting edge. And don't bring your ass back. All right. So, yeah, man. See that type of stuff right there. You see what I'm saying? Like, all right. You got them up out of here? Nah. You said you can't see him. Hold on. Where was that coming from? Hold on. Let me do a little research. They must have said it and then left. I don't know. Or erased it or something. And I ain't beefing with nobody. Go figure. Yeah, let me see. What's that all about? Okay, so what channel is that? It's gotta be the L Boogie. Yeah, it is the L Boogie North one. I wouldn't have smoked them out of. He said I wouldn't have smoked them out of here. Yeah, people gonna always say stuff. See, they always make it seem like we're the offended ones. But who's truly offended by talking about flat earth? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not offended, especially if I think I'm correct. But then on top of that, it said, I only subscribe to say that y'all niggas always beef with one another. You so tough, but you say N-word. You're not that tough. Always beef with one another when they become successful. I mean, let me say it like this. Once again, everyone doesn't have the same goals, though. See, that's what I was just saying, cutting edge. Like, we all don't have the same goals. We're supposed to automatically rock with that person. What if they leading us to a pit You know what I'm saying? A dark, deep pit where we ain't gonna never get up out of it. What if they leading us to that? We still supposed to follow them? Nah, man. If you're a what's the proper term to use? If you ain't good for me, then why would I ever subscribe to that? You know what I mean? Why would I ever put my faith in that? I'm not putting my faith in that. I'm not working with that person. No, that person is considered an outsider to me at that point. And I think that's how those are the things that are being used to persuade us in an opposite direction. You know what I mean? But no. You know, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not just going with something because they black, man. It's not a good idea. You know what I'm saying? That could make or break you, you know. But yeah, let's keep going. And
like
maybe we'll
think
research the
any human
Professor
being that
Dave
is
video
curious
tomorrow, something like that.
has a little bit of like open-minded, like is a little bit open to like, well, let me hear what they have to say, right? And so he is constantly incubated by people who feel the same way he does, right? And like a relationship with you probably works because you're not somebody that's like, you don't care if the earth is round or flat, but you're like, but I want to know, like, what do you think, and show me. I want to hear how it's sparking for you, right? And so then when he's put in a position, especially publicly, and Dante said he was worried about the optics of it being a non-black person,
Right.
And that probably was also because, as you said, Lord Jamar was a conscious rapper.
No doubt.
And so as much as it's not being said, it's like not only is it a non-black person, the science guy David, he also appears to be younger. And so this is all this information.
Yeah, that's all programming for him.
Things going into this person that is sort of eloquently and effortlessly disproving what you said. And now your audience of people, you and Dante.
Now, I'm not going to say disproven. See, that's why I kind of do disagree with all of that at this point. So, yes, Godfrey brought someone there, and he's not aware of what that can do to the flat earth theory and that flat earth community and how they would feel about it. But on top of that, you also have the conversation of, you set me up. Okay, cool. So I do understand that part about it. You know, so if Godfrey's on the fence about it, he doesn't know which way to go when it comes to the shape of the earth and all of the things all of the other things that fall behind it, you know, being involved with it, then cool, you know. But, you know, I'm not going to just say that he lost, you know what I'm saying? I can't agree with that part, basically.
To give you the stage.
Yes.
You guys were like, he can do this because he said he wanted to debate Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
That's if you want to debate the best, then sure enough, we could give you the JV baller, right?
Exactly.
And so then when it goes off the rails in that way, I think he's just really embarrassed. And it takes a lot for any human being when they're embarrassed, but especially a grown male black rapper. I mean, just if you just go through it takes a lot to be like, you know what? Let me go back and get that info. I don't have the information. But let me.
Right.
I'm bested.
Yes.
I'm bested, so I'm gonna sit down and shut up, and then I'll come back to the match and try again. You know that's rare. So what he's doing is just trying to save his, because ultimately he got to make sure he doesn't really lose in front of his audience, because as he's saying to you, you doing it for the clicks. You did it. He got to keep his thing going.
He's doing it for the clicks too. Facts.
But you know, and Dante's like, you could have had you a bunch of money too. He because I know he hasn't lost any money on his shit. You see how he's like, it's gonna cost you $20. I
think it shows very clearly that you
cutting up stuff.
Respected him and tried to protect him because you didn't release.
I didn't release that shit, but then he got on and started talking shit about me to some two bum ass white dudes. Like, since you feel like maybe I embarrassed him in front of white, you talking to these two motherfuckers and they're bringing up fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken buckets with them. Right,
show that.
Show that Kentucky Fried Chicken example.
See,
And he didn't
what I'm talking about, cutting edge.
Like,
so here's the thing. So after that,
Watch
he went to the Flat Earth dudes. He did a show with the Flat Earth dudes, and the dude. Well, go ahead, because I can't even.
Yeah, Dante, let it
explain
get out.
Like so.
Let the clip play.
Mike, you got it on. I think it's 17 minutes.
Everybody running
like you just said. You can't stick a cruise ship or a person to the bottom of it. You can't contain air on the outside of it. So it's not a model; it's a toy. But if we looked at the Flat Earth model and compared it to a bucket of a dinner of bucket from Kentucky Fried Chicken with the mashed potatoes and the gravy and everything, the gravy lays level in there. It's contained. You can float a cruise ship on it. The plastic dome over the top, you can put air in there. It'll be contained. No one's going to fall off of it.
Yeah, any kind of bucket. You could have said any other kind of bucket, though. You really could have. But you definitely chose the Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket.
You put a little boat in there or a person, and it's contained. A bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken is a better model for the Earth than the globe.
I can. So, like, how you don't push back on? Like, all of a sudden, I've seen Dave, and I've seen him. That dude is called Flat Earth Dave. I've seen him debate.
Why wouldn't a pool be considered a better Let me just.
People before never heard him use Kentucky Fried Chicken as the model. A bucket.
I never heard no shit like that.
All of a sudden, now he's talking to a black dude. Now the model. Let me.
The model
say
changes.
So you
yeah,
understand.
that's crazy.
that's like a tub of collard green, and there's water in that tub.
And no
It's a
pushback.
container, and the collard green.
We hollowed out a watermelon. Right? We put Hennessy. We filled it up with Hennessy. At no shape and point at the time the boat did not. You couldn't see the bottom of the boat, no matter how Hennessy finds its own level.
And if it's a slave boat, right? There's slaves in the bottom of the boat. Now,
Man.
and this is not.
But he's getting slandered too. You know what I mean? Because he's Nigerian, and there's always these typical topics about black and white people and their agendas, and if he's tethered on to the American black man and all of this stuff. It's a lot going on, man. I think we do be a little distracted. Maybe this is a distraction. I don't know. Because there's definitely a lot of things that's been going down in the past week. So I don't know. Maybe y'all could leave a comment about it and talk about it in the comments. Or you could come in the chat and say what you got to say. I see there are people watching. It's kind of creepy. Just say hello or sub up. We got 7 people watching. I would truly appreciate those 7 subs. How about it? No? Not worth it? All right. Let's see. We're going to go to this one now. I got it pulled up twice, but let's pull up the Professor Dave one. And then I'm up out of here for today. It's an isosceles. An isosceles. It's a triangle. Let's see. Professor Dave, Lord Jamar. Alright, so I'm assuming this is RSS crapping all over flat earther Lord Jamar live on Godfrey's podcast. Alright, so he's pretty bold with it, Is this the full joint? 2 weeks ago, 11. Discussion on Godfrey's podcast, Flat Earth and Random Science Smorgasbord. No. I want the full shindig. Is this it right here?
Hey everyone, many of you saw my recent reaction video where I drank whiskey while laughing at a rapping flat earther.
A rapping flat earther. See, and there's nothing wrong with jokes. You know what I mean? Because there's jokes on both sides, right? But their jokes just always it doesn't sound like a joke. It always sounds personal. But
named Lord Jamar, who was proudly demonstrating his unparalleled stupidity on the podcast of a comedian named Godfrey. Well, that reaction video set off...
Yeah. Unparalleled stupidity, rapping, or flat earther. Like, you're attempting to prove this man to be an idiot by the far, you know, but he did clown you. I mean, he did slander you, you know. He needs, that's why he needs to watch the slander, because at that point a guy can say anything about you. So let's just continue. My fault.
Off a chain of events that I'm very excited to share with you today. So grab some popcorn and enjoy. If you recall, Godfrey was the host, Lord Jamar was a guest, and then there was this third fellow. His name is Dante Nero, and after I posted my reaction video, he reached out to me by email. He told me that he's a big fan of the channel, and that the episode I reacted to was frustrating for him because he knew that Jamar had no idea what he was talking about, but he didn't have the tools necessary to combat his script in real time. He expressed interest in having me on Godfrey's show via Zoom to have a conversation with Lord Jamar. Now, upon hearing this request, I was immediately aware that if I agreed to do that, it would be a total shit show. I am intimately familiar with people like Lord Jamar. He's a delusional narcissist and complete douchebag whose entire identity revolves around his perceived intellectual superiority over the rest of humanity, despite being a willfully ignorant, clueless asshat. Basically, he's a flat earther. He is 100% impervious to even the most basic facts and logic, and he will not listen to a word I have to say, no matter how obviously...
But see, this is where I have to disagree once again, and I think that if Jamar, once again, and I'm gonna just end this because this is too long and I'm not doing, oh, it's only 24 minutes, excuse me, y'all. But I think that when people talk from this standpoint of the knowing, because he's speaking from the knowing, he's saying, hey, I know this to be fact, and Lord Jamar can't prove anything he's saying, then that's when I have to step back and I have to analyze this guy, Professor Dave. Now, once again, I'm already in tune to the flat earth theory and what's going on in that community. All right. I'm not going to get up there and debate about it because I can't just put facts and everything in front of you from my research, but based off of what I believe in and what I have faith in, I'm going to say I'm a flat earther, right? But these guys in the globalists, once again, they said that the flat earthers are aggressive. But this guy's talking pretty aggressive. You get what I'm saying? Do you see where I'm at with it at this point? This guy's speaking from the all-knowing. Like he knows. Like he's been up there. And no one's been up there. So I don't understand why that's always, you try to make a person seem slow and stupid because you know completely. And it's like, well, have you been there? You know, oh, we sent balloons out of that. No, have you went up to space? Have you looked down on the earth in its completion? I don't think these people have, and I'll do my research at this point. I'm gonna go check out Professor Dave. But I don't think guys understand that when they speak also from a point of knowing, and that this guy doesn't know anything. Once again, it's a theory at this point. You know what I mean? So
correct I am. But when has that ever stopped me before? So I agreed to go on the show. Now, I will say that I went into this with the intention of remaining relatively cordial as long as possible. But Jamar began insulting me before I was even introduced, so I decided to just lace into him from the first moment. Even though my volume was dramatically lower than theirs, even though he was talking over me constantly, even though there was barely any attempt by Godfrey to moderate him so that I could get equal speaking time, I still took a big steamy dump all over him and made him look dumber than rocks in front of his own audience. So much so, in fact, that after less than 20 minutes of interacting, Jamar threatened to leave the studio if I wasn't cut out of the feed. And then, mere minutes after the live stream was posted to Godfrey's channel, it was pulled. Undoubtedly because Jamar told Godfrey to pull it, since he knew how unbelievably stupid he looked. But, my friends, you'd better believe I anticipated exactly this, so I recorded the Zoom session from my end.
I know
I knew that
all
this
well about
exchange
that
was
one,
going to
buddy.
be absolute gold, and I was not disappointed. With that context covered, enjoy this brief interaction with one of the dumbest people alive.
There's not.
See, he's calling him dumb because he thinks he knows exactly what's up there. I don't understand this guy.
Fire in a vacuum of space.
I want to say
like,
something.
well, go ahead.
It's ridiculous.
Like, and before we bring Professor Dave, here's my thing.
Man,
let me
fuck Professor Dave before he even get here. You know why?
When it comes to hip hop, right? There's questions I have to ask because he spent his life studying hip hop.
Come on, we got 5 watching. Sub up.
To take the people that have spent their lifetime understanding physics,
Oh my
science,
gosh.
all kinds of
That
things.
don't matter.
It is absurd. It would be the equivalency if I took
Oh,
an
my
internet
God,
dude.
that does not
and
matter.
let me finish. If I took an internet dude who got a couple of tracks and asked him about the history of hip hop, it's the same thing.
No, it's not.
It's one
No, it's
person.
not.
But what about, you say scientists, right, that have been studying for a long time.
They need more
There are
light in
people
their room.
in these professions that have there to lie. Just like
Yeah.
medical apartheid against African Americans, there
Yeah,
are
but
trained doctors
when you
that have
follow the
lied to black
money-
people about health.
Oh, he got some
They're
dope
gonna say
ass.
whatever
How
the
did
money tells them to
nobody
say.
is saying that didn't
Nobody,
happen.
no scientist
Nobody's
is getting
saying that didn't
funded if they do not say what the money wants them to say, sir.
See?
That's conspiracy.
See right there, that part right there. Lord Jamar already knew what was expected to come out of that. What are they building on? The flat earth and globalism. Globalists versus flat earthers. So Lord Jamar and Godfrey, they beefing or whatever now because this guy, Professor Dave, and I'm reviewing his content, but he came on to Godfrey's podcast, talked, and they say Lord Jamar lost the debate, but then on top of that, Lord Jamar goes and bashes Godfrey, then Godfrey responds. So I already did the Godfrey part. But see, this part right here, y'all, back to the subject. Lord Jamar is saying, hey, this guy is getting paid to say what he's saying. He's got, how many subs he got? I just seen it. Hold on. This guy got almost 4 million subs, yo. He got 3.5 million subs. Why wouldn't he be paid to say what he's saying and speak from the all-knowing? Come on now. People don't just have it in their heart to say what they say. Some people get paid to say what they say, man. Come on now.
No, it's
That's
not.
not
It's
fact.
real.
Yeah,
It's
every-
a fucking fact.
But you don't get to say
Science
that
is a
everything
religion
is that
now.
way. You don't get to
Science
say
is
that.
a religion. It is not,
Science is not
what
a
you
religion.
think it is.
That's
Oh, yes, it
ridiculous.
is.
That's
And
absurd.
and
This is
people
great.
That is
worship
absurd.
at the altar of science.
Nobody's
and these
worship at the
people are your
altar.
new fucking deacons and bishops, and you believe that they have the power.
Let's
They're
go.
closer to God
go.
I agree
than
with that.
anybody else. No. Hang on a second.
You
My
okay?
whole disclaimer before we even start this bullshit.
See,
okay?
he already knew what it was. He already knew what was going on from my standpoint. He already knew what was about to be said from Professor Dave. And adding to that, he already knew what he couldn't prove, and he didn't have the talking points. I don't think he would be prepared for that, but let's just keep listening. This
is that, hang on, I issued a challenge, Godfrey, to even come here to talk to Mr. Whoever, scientist man, that if he can present me a working model of a ball that water sticks to the outside of it.
Mhm.
Yes, as
this
it
is the
rotates,
conversation.
I'll gladly sit down and have a talk with him. He hasn't showed me such model. I can give you a model right now as we sit here.
Oh, is Dave around? Is he there?
He's on.
Can he hear us?
A model right now.
I can hear you guys.
Hey, Dave!
All right, so that's the talking point for flat earthers. Can you present a working model that can hold water in a spherical shape? This is what they say the earth is shaped like. It ain't perfect. but can water attach to that without falling off? And you can't say it's being used, it's vacuum and all that stuff. I forgot all of the facts of that. That's why I say I wouldn't debate no one on the scientific part either, but can we see it,
Hey, Dave. Hi, Dave. It's Godfrey. How are you? I don't see
bowl.
you.
Jamar is.
You're doing
is
good.
being-
Oh,
see me?
Hey.
What up, Dave?
Dave, are you Dave the scientist?
I'm the one that contacted you, Dave.
Are you Dave the scientist?
Yeah, he's the one
I'm
that
a science
contacted you.
communicator.
Science communicator. Well, hey, how you doing? First
What
time
does that
meeting
mean?
you.
different?
I'm
Science
doing good.
communicator.
Science communicator. Okay. Well,
He
here
speaks
you
for
are.
science,
You
I guess.
do not believe in the flat
I don't
Earth
know.
theories, and you are. I've been taught that the Earth has been round for a long time, and when the flat Earth thing came around, I said, "Okay, what's this about?" And then I listened to some of the flat Earth stuff, and you know what? Some of the stuff made sense. I was like, that kind of makes sense. And then when you hear about what you've always been learning about, well, that kind of makes sense. And then when I talked to Dave, when I talked to a fighter pilot. And then they go like 50,000 feet, way higher than commercial jet. I say, have you seen curvature? He goes, yeah, we see the curvature of the Earth. That's what he said. I was like,
I've seen multiple videos where they say no.
You talk about we're supposed to take
straight.
care of your video over a pilot who has thousands of hours.
We've
This
seen
is like
multiple
just
pilots say that it's
So Dave,
We've heard multiple.
who's gonna go first?
We've heard multiple pilots say that the Earth is flat, and I'll be damned. The one time I was frightened to get on an airplane, and I got on one, and I looked as much as I could anyway. It didn't look spherical to me. It didn't look round shaped. It didn't look like a ball. I'm sorry.
Tell us, Dave, why you are against what he believes.
How about that?
Yeah, flat Earth is the dumbest hoax in human history. Jamar just watched some videos by Eric Dubé, who just spews a bunch of bullshit, memorized what he says, and repeats it and pretends to be intelligent. Instead, everything you say is so insanely stupid and can be disproven with middle school level physics.
How?
So,
How?
Yeah, we
Show
can go
it.
ahead and you can
Let's
rattle off your
do it.
debate talking points.
Do you have a
I'll tell you how
working
you're
model of a ball that has water sticking to the outside of it? Can you show me a working model
wet
of that?
a tennis ball.
But, yes, wet.
It has
and
nothing to
that.
do
But
with
no.
anything.
That's
What
not
do
water
you even-
sticking to
what
a
does that
ball.
even mean?
That's saturation of water on the
Okay,
ball.
so- Of
material.
I want you to show me where water sticks to the outside of a ball as it spins. It doesn't go to the equator of the
so-
ball and
all right,
spin
buddy,
off.
I heard what you said. I
Show
heard
me
what
a
you said.
working
I'm not
model.
gonna talk
Hang
about it.
on.
You said something very
Show
stupid.
me
I'm
a
gonna explain to
working
you how it's
model.
stupid.
Okay.
The reason that things stick to the Earth is because the Earth is extremely massive, so it generates a very large gravitational field. When water falls off of a ball, whatever ball you're talking about, to the Earth, it's because of the large gravitational field exerted by the Earth. So when you're talking about water,
All right, so now I can speak on this a little bit because I did see Bro Sanchez TV. Shout out to Bro Sanchez TV on this one. All right, and it made so much sense too. All right, so the law of gravity, which is defined by, let's pull it up. Let's pull up the law of gravity real quick. I do like doing this type of stuff right here. This is fun. Newton's law. Isaac Newton. All right, let's just pull this up real quick. Y'all might not be able to see that. I might have to make it larger. Let's see. All right. States that every particle attracts every other particle in the universe with a force that is proportional to the product of their masses and excuse me, let me slow down. And inversely proportional to the square of the distance between their centers. Separated objects attract and are attracted as if all their mass were concentrated at their centers. The publication of the law has become known as the first great unification, as it marked the unification of the previously described phenomena of gravity on Earth with known astronomical behaviors. All right, so the way that they broke it down when I heard it and it made a lot of sense was the larger mass would pull everything to the center. So if the mass is larger, then it will pull everything lighter towards the center of the Earth, which is what they're referring to, concentrated at the centers, as if all their mass were concentrated at the centers, which means that this earth, the ball that we live on, would pull everything towards it. All right. So anything lighter than the earth would be pulled to the center of the earth. And the way that Bro Sanchez debunked that, I would say, allegedly, is that bubbles rise. So everything's being pulled to the earth. But have you ever noticed that when you jump in the water or something like that, when the air attempts to release from the water, the bubbles rise, okay? So those bubbles are lighter than the earth. Why wouldn't they be pulled back down to the center of the earth opposed to rising to the top of the earth if they're lighter than the earth? Why are they going away from that center mass opposed to going towards that center mass? All right. So let's keep going.
Sticking to a ball, your desired demonstration of gravity fails because gravity exists.
No.
Things fall to the ground.
There is density and buoyancy, sir. Gravity is not some magical thing that makes things drop to the ground. It depends the medium that it is in. If I drop something in this water, depending on how heavy it is.
All right, so they're both talking over each other, first of all. But then second of all, you have this conversation about density at this point. So Lord Jamar brings up density. He says, hey, the reason that things come to the, we're not going to say the word gravity. We're going to say density. So that means something that's heavy can't sit on top of the air. The air is like the lightest gas, natural gas, okay? So the air is the lightest thing on the earth. Basically, I believe it is anyway. And nothing can sit on that. So nothing in its center mass can sit on the air. That's going to obviously fall to the earth. It's going to fall to its nearest location. Anything that's lighter than the air. So say you pick up a dime or nickel, that nickel is still heavier than the air, so it's gonna fall. The air can't hold that in the air because the air isn't heavier than the nickel.
No,
it's going to sink or float.
Wait, I want you all to talk, but
density
I want to hear both.
First of all, this guy came out real disrespectful, talk about the stupidest shit.
Yeah, he did. But then on top of that, it's also an uncontrolled, moderating debate. But I see that Godfrey is attempting to control the debate right here. But let's keep going. It was definitely uncontrolled, though.
Like, if he was in this room, I'd be smacking the shit out of him right now. First of all.
Facts, yeah.
Okay.
It's all bullshit.
Right, sir? You know that, right?
What you say to the
you know that, right?
The entire body of scientific knowledge. Let me respond to the insanely stupid thing you said.
I want you to respond to my...
Let him talk, Jay.
Okay, we're going to talk about what pseudoscience is.
Okay,
go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Dave.
Density is not a force. It requires a force to produce an acceleration. Things accelerate towards the earth. Density is a scalar. It's not a force. It can't make things move. Buoyancy, there's a buoyant force, but it has gravity in the equation. Buoyancy only exists when gravity exists.
When gravity, the secret sauce.
Here's the problem with your density bullshit. You think that things fall down because the air is less dense. The air is less dense above the object too. So why the fuck don't things fall up?
Things do fall up, you fucking asshole. Bubbles go up, you stupid fuck. Fucking
they do.
Evaporation goes up, you dickhead.
Smoke
what the fuck
goes
are you talking
up.
About?
That's because
smoke would be considered lighter in situations than the air. It goes up when you puff, like just smokers, if you puff and you blow the smoke out, does it immediately go down? No, sometimes it rises. Same as bubbles. You open a bottle of bubbles, those bubbles, they have a little bit of weight to them, but you blow them and eventually they find their way to the ground. But they can go up.
It's because it's lighter than the fucking density
In
it's
the air.
in.
Right.
How can a fly defy gravity?
Fall?
How can a fucking tadpole defy
Appreciate
gravity?
the sub.
You fucking shithead.
Tadpole defy gravity? What the fuck
Yes.
are you talking
How does
about?
anything swim through? If gravity is holding down oceans that are tons of fucking of fucking force, how does anything swim through the ocean?
Right.
How do you fucking lift your legs off the fucking
Yeah,
ground?
because that makes so much sense. So that's what we're proving here. We have some people saying, hey, gravity is extremely strong. And it's like, well, if gravity is so strong, so powerful, then why are we able to lift our arms? Why are we able to throw through, you know what I'm saying, through gravity? If gravity's pulling everything to the center of the earth, it's pulling everything to the center of the earth, then why are fish able to swim up, you know what I mean, up the ocean if everything's being pulled down? That doesn't make sense. Come on, man. That's common knowledge. That's common knowledge. I don't want to hear nothing about buoyancy. I want you to explain to me, why can I lift my arms? Why can birds fly? Wouldn't the earth pull that automatically down? Wouldn't the earth's gravity automatically pull the birds down to the center of the earth? Go figure.
You fucking cockbag.
Muscles. Birds have wings, right? You can exert
They have
force,
wings?
which allows you to accelerate. Right? Doesn't that make sense? If you jump or if you throw a ball, you're exerting force and you are counteracting gravity until that momentum runs out. You throw a ball, it goes up, and then it falls back down. Why do things fall down?
Because it's heavy.
Do things
No.
energy?
Why do things fall down?
Things fall down because they're heavy. Right? Can somebody say something in the chat? If the earth is pulling everything to the center of the earth, then why are we able? You get what I'm saying, y'all? Can y'all say something in the chat? I don't know how far behind it is, but have you ever thrown something heavy into the sky and did it come back down? Why would it come back down? It's heavy. It's heavier than the air, than the density of the air. All right?
Subject. Why don't things fall
Why
up?
do-
Why
why
do
do-
things only fall down?
why do they-
The
Said,
why
air
do
is
things
less dense
fall
above
up?
the
No,
ball
why do
than
things fall down
up?
only? Why don't they fall up? This is what he's asking.
Again, light things will rise.
Only with wind,
Dense.
which is a
No,
force.
it's not only with wind.
Things don't float. Nothing
Why
floats.
doesn't a ball fall up? The air
Because
above the ball
it is
less
dense.
than the ball.
Because it is dense.
Because what's that?
The air
The ball
is more
is
dense
dense.
than the ball? Is
The-
that what you're saying now?
don't
The
even make
gases
sense.
aren't
That's not
falling
even what
down.
The ball
what you're
is
saying.
dense if it's in regular air.
Clarify, TB. You said the sun and what about the sun in the clouds? Have y'all seen that? Let's pull that up, man. This is a great debate. Sun in the clouds. People are showing that now. Why is the sun in the clouds? You know, and it's once again, everything's a theory at this point, right? But the sun is in the clouds. Let's look at this, people. Got so much stuff to look at. It's amazing. So many things to look at, man. It's such an amazing day. Why is the sun in the clouds, y'all? I thought they said it was millions of miles away. Why is our sun sitting directly in the clouds? It's so many talking points. Also, there's no up and down on a spheroid. On a what? Are you a flat earther or are you a damn? And gases aren't falling down. Yes, they do, man. Let's keep going.
Air, it will fall to the ground. If it was in,
Why does
if
it
it
fall
was
up?
in,
Isn't
say
the air
a
above the ball
gel,
less
if it
dense
was
than
in
the
a
ball?
gel, what is it? What's the ball gonna do?
Okay, I
It's
don't
just
know
gonna
about what the
stop
fuck you're
there,
talking about
right?
the gel.
See-
in the air.
Earth is measured flat. All right, TB, thank you. All right, I was about to say, man. But yeah, and it ain't that you have to agree with me or whatever. Everybody has their opinion. But yeah, there's a guy that also says, hey, as pilots, when they give them their I don't know if it's a tachometer or speedometer or what is particularly called, the necessities of it, but it's based off of the horizon being like half shaped of, so basically like a half of a circle. You know what I mean? So it's a flat plane. The plane, I don't know the proper terms for that once again. All right. So the way that airplanes fly, basically the science that they use to go up and down, and I got this from an Air Force retiree. They're basing it off of the plane being flat, the horizon plane being considered flat. It's not being considered, round. And I've always wondered this, even when I was a kid, So I'm definitely a flat earther, man.
Why doesn't a ball it depends on the.
And I could show content that's based on flat earth and real good meanings behind it, like something to really scratch your head, something that'll make you go, there's no horizon on a sphere earth. Horizontal is parallel to the plane of the horizon at right angles to vertical. The horizon has zero slope. Right, exactly.
Medium.
Can't ask the question and then.
It's flat as hell. I mean, like they said, even when you look at the mountains, because once again, the mountains have slopes and peaks and stuff, right? Even when you look at that mountain from the horizon, that mountain is the only thing that's elevated. It doesn't curve. You don't see a mountain curve and then, you know what I'm saying?
What does falling up have to do with anything? I don't understand.
Because
He said
there's no such thing as gravity.
You said there's
Why
no
is
such
there a
thing in
preferred
gravity.
direction of falling? Why do things fall down to the ground?
Because they're heavy.
Because they have density. That's
Okay,
why.
what is heavy?
They're heavy. It's lighter. It's heavier than the air. If the air was 5 pounds, anything, that would go into some different type of science of what would fall through the 5 pounds of air, whatever. But I think there's some truth to that. I really do. If the air was thick and something, let's just say something 2 pounds fell down through 1 pound air, then it would still fall. To even calculate or measure the heights of mountains, you need a horizontal reference plane, i.e. flat earth. Yeah. Like, what is so, and from my understanding, the reason they're arguing this is because you can live outside of this earth. That's kind of where this conversation goes, people. You go past everything that they've marked as earth realm. All right. So basically the earth is bigger than what they're saying it is. That's that argument at this point,
What is weight? Do you even know what weight is?
Oh my.
What's weight? Tell me the definition of weight.
It's your fucking head on your fucking shoulders, you fat head
someone's
bitch.
getting a little sassy because he doesn't know the answer to the question.
We're not going to sit here and talk about all these.
We're not going to sit here and define.
See, all right. So look, Lord Jamar doesn't have, definitions, dictionary definitions, and scientific information to back the things that are being argued, but yes, that sounds more accurate to me than some damn gravity pulling everything towards the center of the earth. No, because it's the larger mass. No, that doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. I don't know why that's hard to argue. Why can't people understand that if everything getting pulled to the center of the earth, our bodies would never leave the earth? You get what I'm saying? The birds would never be able to fly. Yeah, we used a flat earth to discover new worlds in the past. Now we have started looking to outer space and lights in the sky versus out on the plane. Salute to you, TB. Hopefully you subbed up, man. I appreciate you pulling up on me.
Words that you don't
Yes,
know.
define words.
Let's see what the definition of the damn word weight is. Weight defined. The amount of quantity of heaviness or mass, amount a thing weighs. So he said the weight. Appreciate it. Thank you, TB. So he said the amount, or it says it's a noun. and it's the amount or quantity of heaviness or mass. We said it was heavy. What's so wrong about it being heavy? All right.
We're talking about what's heavy and what's light.
Right.
Yeah, so what does fucking heavy mean, dumbass? You said the word heavy. What is heavy? What is weight? What is weight? What does that mean? You don't know the definitions of the words you're using.
Bro.
That's not fair.
Should I define
Okay.
weight?
That's just not fair, dude. He just defined it.
A body's relative. Here we go. A body's relative mass or the quantity of matter contained by it, giving rise to a downward force. The heaviness, and then of course the heaviness of a person or thing
by virtue of its position in a gravitational field. Things have weight because gravity exists.
See, you say these things. These are definitions
of words.
These are definitions that are given by people who are here
who study things
who are here to reinforce a certain position. I'm talking about common
money
sense
can't
shit.
change
Did
the
he just
laws
say
of
sweetie?
physics.
Are
There's
you
no
fucking
amount
homo?
of money that can change the
Yo,
laws of physics.
did this nigga just say sweetie?
But it can write textbooks. It can get scientists and people like you to stand in front of us and to argue us down forever when we kind of have. See, it sucks when people look past common sense and common knowledge and shame people by going to some defined word that was drawn up by some entity who they don't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, why can't we just have common knowledge and say, damn, when I go outside, everything looks flat? Is that so hard to argue? I don't understand it. There's no downward bias effect in nature. They are arguing about a phenomenon that doesn't exist in nature. Right. Like, this is common knowledge. It's common sense at this point. If something's heavy, damn, it's going to be hard to lift. You know, we got cranes. We got all types of different heavy material, heavy equipment that has to lift things based on the quantity of mass. All right. You know, it's taking me back to school, you know, because I haven't been studying this stuff, but this is a very interesting topic. And I feel like I want to continue to talk about this too, because it's kind of common sense on some of these subjects. Everything can't be common sense, of course. You know, some things do need a little bit more attention to it. But for the most part, that's kind of common sense, bro. Like, you could throw a feather in the sky and watch it eventually fall because it's still lighter than the air. But that force of air can, you know, we've seen feathers fly through the air and they eventually fall, right? You know, but it still falls because it's still a little bit heavier than the air, you know? All right. Hopefully you all will come back and rock out with me. I see it's 11 people watching. Hopefully those 11 sub up to the channel. And shout out to everyone that continued to watch the video. I'm going to get up out of here. I did an hour and a half. And I do have other things that I could be doing at this moment. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. I really do, man. It's a blessing. It's an honor to be amongst people who would take their time to listen to me. So other than that, appreciate everybody that pulled up. TB, MIDI channel, KTC, Cutting Edge. Who else we had up in here? Santino, Ethikio. I think that's everybody that was chatting with me today. Thank you, TB. Thank you, MIDI. Yeah, and it's just like that. And we up out of here.